Don't be a flake. Don't run away from your feelings, babe. Don't be afraid. Don't be ashamed. Don't hesitate to say, hey, babe. Hey, babe. Hey, babe. Hey, babe. Hey, babe. Hey, babe.
This is Hey Babe. Bum ba dum bum 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 bum.
Now, some people say, we were debating this, we think, did we do that? Did we do that little jingle before in an episode? And what I say is, even if we did, it doesn't matter, because guess what, babe? You never step in the same river twice. Okay? You know what I mean by that?
Just except when you do, you know, because people do.
No, but they do.
Yeah.
But it's always flowing water. It's never the same river.
Did you change your shirt?
Different water. Change my shirt. Purple.
I didn't.
That's okay. You know what? There it is. Now you're a different
This
guy.
is a new episode.
Now you're a different guy. I heard, I've been listening, I want to shout him out, Ryan Holiday from the Daily Stoic. I listen to his podcast every day. So what I want everyone at home to do is listen to Ryan Holiday's Daily Stoic podcast and then listen to Hey Babe, or listen to Hey Babe first and then Ryan Holiday's podcast. But it's every day. It's only about 8 to 15-minute episodes, and it's just advice from the Stoics, from Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, these like ancient thinkers, Seneca, ancient thinkers. And when he said you never step in the same river twice, I was like, huh, look at that. How about them apples? You never do. Like today, I walked the same way I always walk, but I walked in it with different energy. And even though it's the same blocks, you're doing it. It's different. You're seeing everything a little different. Like even though you thought today you got the same shirt on, but you're not. But it's a different episode, and you're wearing the shirt a little differently.
This is a different episode. Please just watch this one as well.
Yes. So, yeah, babe. So I've been listening to that podcast, The Daily. They also have another email blast called The Daily Dad, and I like getting a little dad advice.
Oh, I think I know that.
He's a great guy. He wrote a book. He sent it here to the studio. Shout out Ryan. Shout out Ryan Holiday. He's got a muscular head but a skinny body.
What's a muscular head?
His head looks like he'd be muscular, but then his body's very thin.
But how does your head play muscular? Is it a jawline?
Yeah, he's got a good jaw, but then his body's thin. I like it.
A thin body.
A thin body man. People are shouting out Sal's flat feet.
Why?
I don't know. Sometimes people just do that.
Is there a photo of my flat feet?
Babe, by the way, summer movie, you know what I want to see? Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I want to take my kids to one of those movie theaters where they bring, like when the one I told you when Delilah
4D?
ordered 5 milkshakes.
Oh, okay.
Where they bring the food to you.
Yeah. Can I tell you something? I lost.
Don't tell me.
Don't?
No, actually tell me.
I
changed my mind. Never in the same river twice.
I've lost
about 20 pounds.
Sure.
Easily. You look great.
I got work.
Do you feel good?
I got work to do.
Well, you look good. It's you have noticeable weight loss now. I just want to let you know.
Well, I appreciate that. We'll see what happens. I have fully disengaged and do not care anymore about superhero movies in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Whoa.
Yeah, I just can't keep up. And I don't care enough about the characters to invest in a storyline that's in 30 different directions to know all this fucking shit. And I just don't even see that. Like Guardians of the Galaxy was a good movie. I remember laughing at it, and I have no desire to see the next one.
I can't. I feel that way about Spider-Man. It's like there's too many Spider-Mans. I don't care about the new Spider-Man. I don't know who's the Spider-Man anymore.
Yeah.
I have no clue what's going on. I will say I identify with you with that. When I see a TV show, I'm not interested in starting a new TV show. I'd rather just watch a movie. I want to be done in an hour and a half to 2 hours.
I need closure.
I can't invest time. I haven't seen the last episode of Succession yet. Have you?
Yes, I have.
You saw it full to the end.
Full to the end.
Okay, so I haven't. I fell asleep. I keep falling asleep because I can only watch it
during it.
Yeah, and I keep falling asleep, and I haven't watched the end. Is it mind blowing, blow your balls off ending, or could they have done a better job? Or tell me about it without telling me about it.
Okay, as a fan, I was a little surprised and satisfied by the ending.
You were satisfied.
Yeah, I don't think that they shit the bed. I think that there was a few ways it could have went, and they chose one of the ways, and they did it pretty well.
Okay, so let me ask you a question, because I'm going to try to finish it tonight or tomorrow. They did make a choice. They didn't leave it up. There is a clear-cut winner of this company.
There is a clear choice.
Wow. And it ends kind of with that person, and that's it.
It ends, yeah. It ends... Yeah, it's like wrapped. It's you don't have questions. It's wrapped up, but it's like it's not, but it is.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna watch it.
It's and let me tell you something. There's some scenes in this one that are, I mean, intense and wild. Like you literally like even if you've seen every single season and you've seen scenes where you're like that was crazy. There's a scene in this one where you're like, holy shit. Like you
Any
feel
sex?
you feel there was
Is there any sex?
I don't think there's ever has been sex.
I want to see some sex.
I don't think there ever has been sex.
Any violence in this one? Nobody gets killed or hurt in any of these or shot.
There was a little violence in the last one when Roman ran out into the street. Do you remember?
Oh yeah, he got punched by the protesters.
Yeah.
Goddamn liberals.
No, there's a scene in this one. Oh, there's a really feel good scene, which is crazy because the characters have no redeeming qualities. But
That's very interesting. They don't, but yet we love them.
there's no.
They're all likable, no redeeming qualities.
No, you're not rooting for anybody really. It's weird. No, they never give you enough. If you see a glimpse of humanity in them, they'd suck it right back immediately.
out, yeah.
And there's no one here that you're rooting for. Every person down to Greg is a terrible person.
Yeah.
It's kind of wild. You know, Sopranos, I think, kicked that off, and then you had Breaking Bad, and you had there's like it's the anti-hero, you know? And these are terrible fucking people, but you got a really nice you got something in the last episode you didn't get in all 4 seasons. There's a scene that you've never seen these characters like this.
Okay.
Ever.
Okay.
And then you also get a scene that is so intense that I felt physically uncomfortable.
Right.
Literally, like my mouth was open. Like I felt my heart racing during the scene, and I felt uncomfortable.
Wow, that's good. That's a good scene.
It's a wild scene.
Oh yeah, I'm excited to watch it then.
It's toward the end.
Okay. Yeah, it's an hour and a half episode. I can
like a
only
movie.
watch things at the end, or I can only watch shows at the end of the night. But after we put the kids to bed and me and Jazz get into bed, we're usually just I fall asleep and Jazz is up buying things on Amazon.
You get through an episode and that's it. That's why if something's not I love limited series now.
Yeah.
Limited series. 8 episodes, 10 max, 40 minutes each.
Can I ask you, what do you talk about with your girl about spending? Do you watch and monitor your spending? What do you guys talk about? Because I have now, over the last few months of my life, really paid close attention to my spending. And there's a lot of times where I'm like, we didn't need to buy that much oatmeal.
Yeah.
Why are you spending $60 a month on oatmeal?
Yeah. Well, will the oatmeal eventually get eaten?
Yeah, but there's no reason. But there's more stacks of oatmeal.
But I think there's more frivolous purchases than food.
Yeah.
But I understand what you mean. And I'll tell you another thing.
And we also don't need to keep getting outdoor furniture. We can live with the outdoor furniture we have. We don't need to get an upgrade of an outdoor furniture set. We don't need to get a new outdoor table because the last one got, ruined a little bit by the weather. Their sun,
Dude, I got my table. This is my 4th or 5th year with it, and I'm just
Raymore and Flanagan?
I got it at
That's the name for my nuts, Raymore and Flanagan. Your Celino and Barnes are mine are Raymore and Flanagan. Do you like that?
I love it.
All right, good.
No, we got us at West Elm, but no, dude. Honestly, if you don't pay attention to your spending, and then one day you do like a truly deep dive, you'd be surprised.
Right.
You should always stay on top of your spending, and I should follow my own advice because I don't really.
You get credit card bills sometimes, and you're like, I cannot sustain this credit card bill pace.
Every month. No. But this is a lot of my spending, even though it's a lot, is necessity. Like we have to plane tickets and hotels and all this stuff, and just the regular bills and all. That's my minimum nut
is extremely high.
Is already high.
But it's a business expense.
It gives me literal anxiety. Yeah. But no, we don't. We're careful with spending. I spend money on vacations, on dining.
That's it.
So like things that are going to create memories or make us like I don't really spend on like watches or anything exorbitant. Like I don't have some crazy car. That's what I spend money on. So, but
you have to spend money on something because being too frugal is also giving money too much power over you. Like people think, overspending is a problem, but also underspending is a problem too.
The little ways that I see, because I had money growing up.
Came, you saw, you conquered.
I came, I saw, I conquered. Had no money growing up, and like my thoughts on money remain the same as they always have.
Which is what?
I'm very conservative with money.
Right.
I don't like to live above my means. I still think what the normal person thinks is expensive. Just because I have extra money, it didn't change the fact that I would be like, what they want, like in the airport, if a sandwich is $15, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, this is crazy. I'm getting robbed.
Right.
You know, like, but
Right.
I guess where I do see some of the impact, because you also want to, like, you work so hard, you want to reap the benefits of a better quality of life, right?
Right.
So I guess flying first class is where I see it.
Right.
Or like, I won't think twice about taking an Uber somewhere or something like that. Like little things like that, like where in the past I would be like, oh, I can't take an Uber every day this week.
Right.
You know, though that's like kind of where I let myself have it.
Have it. Right.
You know, but other than that, no. And I'll tell you, my girl is like, she's even the same, if not more. Like she won't spend, she'll text me right now. She's like, I'm at Target. We need a new blah, blah, blah. This is $70. I don't know if I should do it.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what are you talking about? Like, you just get it. It's 70. I mean, like in that respect, but she's like, that's how much she is.
Right. Yeah. Because I think couples don't like. I never really. I think it's very easy with our lives being on autopilot, everything automated with apps and stuff like that, to just like not look at things or like, and once you start to look, your heart starts to sink where you're like, wait a second. How many times did we order out? How many times? And then
I spend money on that too.
And then what I've noticed though now is what's been happening, because I would say, oh, you know, me and my family, we're home together, but we're not spending time together. We're on our devices. We're letting the kids watch TV. Even if they're outside, it's like, I want to spend time together. So what we've done now, what I just made a rule, I said at least 3 nights a week, and it's been more, but I say at the minimum 3 nights a week, all 5 of us, me, Jazz, and the 3 kids, are going to cook a meal together.
I love it.
Each one of us is going to get a job. Obviously, Jasmine is the only one who knows how to cook, so it's a lot of times like, even if my job is just to clean the dishes, and that's what I'll do, but we're all standing in the kitchen together, no devices doing it. You know, the baby will go get a plate. Like, we give the kids little bullshit jobs, and Jazz really does most of it, but we're all like in together, and that's
the moment you're gonna remember.
And then it's like, and it's like literally so much better life quality, but so much cheaper too financially. Like, when we're I mean, you know, if we ordered, like we got, you know, chicken, we made like chicken parmesan and spaghetti the other day, and it's like, you know, we bought 2 packs of chicken cutlets,
one all ate for $30.
2 boxes of spaghetti, some grated cheese, and a salad, and it cost like $40. One chicken parmesan from the place we like to get to was $38.
Yeah.
So I would have spent close to, which I would do.
Yeah.
Because it's easy. I would say, justify my head, oh, you know what? Let's order the food, because then actually we're going to spend more time together because we don't have to worry about cooking, as opposed to just saying, but it's the opposite is true.
Cooking is the journey.
That's it, baby.
Yeah. No, I love rules and traditions. I'm all for it, man.
Yeah, me too.
I'm going to be a sit down at the dinner table guy together, like when I, you know, when I have kids and they're older and all that stuff.
It's difficult now for me, like with especially having an 8-year-old and a 12-year-old. When you tell them to get off their devices, you just have to deal with you just have to deal with like them freaking the fuck out.
Yeah.
But I'm just willing to deal with it, and I'm starting to try to take their devices away. This is another thing the Daily Stoic said is behavior is the language of children, which is really true. And I started to implement this a little bit when my daughter, like the other day, my daughter was like just in a freaking mood.
Yeah.
Like I could, like screaming, doesn't want to go to track.
She doesn't know what she needs, but it's coming out.
Right.
Yeah.
Because the 2-year-old, it's like, I understand. My 2-year-old, you know, she's a baby. But my 8-year-old, I was like, what? She can communicate. But then I was like, when I heard behavior is the language of children, I was like, wait a second. She's only 8. She actually can articulate thoughts. So I just sat her.
She is communicating.
With her behavior. So I just sat her down and I went through just what her basic needs are and if they're being met. I said, do you have to go to the bathroom? No. Do you feel hot? No. Do you feel cold? No. Are you hungry? Yes. So she didn't know how to tell me, even though she's very smart and articulate and whatever. She didn't know to be like, Daddy, can you just please make me a sandwich and then I'll calm down? I had to ask her because her behavior was telling me something is wrong.
Right.
So then I was like, oh, fine. She wanted a banana sandwich. I was like, okay, I'll make you
just banana on bread?
Just banana on bread. I was like, it's actually interesting. I took a bite. I was like, not bad. Banana on bread. And she loved it. And then 20 minutes later, because she was satiated, her behavior changed, and we had a great day.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, behavior is the language of children. That was a big thing the Daily Dad said that I liked.
Yeah. You know, you are a modern day
Homo sapien.
Homo sapien. Yeah. No, you're a modern day philosopher. You really
Well, I'm just regurgitating what Ryan Holiday says.
But you read every week.
Yeah.
You have read someone else. You're well read, and you retain and apply.
Well, I write it down.
You retain and you apply.
Because I write it down. I make sure like there's certain things that like I just look at every day, and I just read. You want here?
Do you know that I can't read and I can't retain?
Really?
Yeah, because of my
you,
ADHD is at a fever pitch. I just upped the dose. I'm just trying so hard. I hate taking prescription drugs. I hate it. But I'm on my second different prescription drug on the fourth different dose level. And I did the first drug, I did 3 dose levels.
Right.
And like I'm just trying to find something that will work for me because it's like a mental prison.
It might be maybe
It
the
really
no drugs.
is.
Try no drugs. See what happens.
No-
Drink mad water.
I've only tried getting on these prescription meds for the last like not even 3 months. 3 months. So prior
give it
to that,
another
I
3
had-
months and then
I never
see
took
what
anything.
happens. You know.
Yeah.
But here's the things. Here's the things. And again, more Daily Stoic. But here's the 4 things that I look at every day. I
Mm-hmm.
look at these things every day. And Seneca said these. We suffer more in imagination than in reality. It's a big one. Associate only with people who improve you. That's a hard one to do, but something I've been trying to implement.
Huge shot.
The greatest remedy for anger is delay. So just when you're mad and you're emotional,
That
just,
I've been putting into practice.
just delay.
Yeah.
Just delay, and typically goes away. And value your time more than your possessions. That's a big one. Time more than possessions. And then the last
That
one:
could be the
death is
biggest
not in the
one.
distant future. We are dying every day. That's a big one. So those things I apply.
I don't know if I like that last one.
But it's the truth.
Part of my
Death is not in the distant future. We are dying every day.
yeah. Well, the ADHD it also exacerbates or helps bring on the anxiety and depression. So, and I have as we talked before, I'm a guy that has big problems with like death and stuff like that.
But why? But you have to figure out why, because I think that
I'm trying, dude. I'm going to therapy. Like I'm just trying, but I can't. I gotta. So not to get too serious on it, but anyway.
That's what the podcast is for.
So he's like, what? Is he just like? Is he just like? Is that mean carpe diem to him? Is that what that means? What is he when he says not as we're dying every day? Is it like? What do you take away from that? Because I could take away a couple of things from that.
death is not in the distant future. We are dying every day. What I take from that is to, again, just different ways to say things that we know. Being in the present, living in the now, not putting off tomorrow what I could do today, what Benjamin Franklin would always say. You know, if you can do it now, do it now. Be in the now, because your death, nobody knows when it is. So it can to sit and think that you have all the time is...
No, I don't think that. I actually feel a ticking clock, actually.
So then what? So if you feel like a ticking clock, then I would... Then go back to the third one, value your time more than your possessions. So then you deal with your time, and then who's in your life, friends, family, whatever, and you spend more time with them, or get the balance. Get the balance of it all.
Did we talk about this ever before? I was saying how like maybe it was you or DeRosa, maybe it wasn't on a podcast, but how like when we were little, time was so slow.
Right.
Did we
Summer
talk about this?
vacation felt
We
like
talked
an
about it.
eternity.
Yeah.
So 8th grade or 6th grade felt like that's 10 years.
That's what I want to do. I almost want to try to just be like do absolutely nothing, like block out nothing,
Right.
and then just like I was a kid in 8th grade or a retired person, because those are the days that like you get up, you walk outside at 8 a.m., and you come back in at 6 p.m. That day feels like a year.
Right.
I want to just slow down everything.
Well, I think then, but that's probably like, you know, maybe meditating more, being in one place more. When we're on the go all the time, which is the nature of our career, it tends to make things go so fast. What happened? Here we go. Pimp just pulled up. The size and complexity of the networks of neurons in our brains increases as we age. Electrical signals must traverse greater distances, and thus signal processing takes more time. So actually, time does slow down as you get older, right? Is that goes faster? I'm sorry. Yeah.
Wait, really?
Yeah, because of a neurological thing.
It's not a feeling. It's real. It's real.
Yeah.
Traverse greater distances, and thus signal processing takes more time. I don't get. Well, why? How's that saying that time goes slower? Because it takes more time to think.
The commute across your brain gets longer.
Sure, but we're talking nanoseconds, though, or like are they just like it's not something we can feel?
Well, we just said we could feel it as time feels faster.
I just felt like because there's so much coming at us in every direction, so much more responsibility, so much more communication, information, that it just feels like, you know, we're going from one thing to the next throughout the day. Like we're just punching a clock. Like, you know,
well, like it's like that story. Ari Shaffir just told me this yesterday. Like the story of the fisherman when he's, you know, wealthy guy, fisher. He's a fisherman, and then somebody's like, well, why don't you go get another fishing boat? And he's like, okay, and then what? And they're like, well, you know, you'd catch more fish. He's like, yeah, and then what? And he's like, well, then you'd be able to get more fish and buy even more fishing boats. He's like, okay, yeah, and then what? He's like, well, you'd catch more fish with the fishing boats and your empire would grow.
It's a rat race.
Even bigger. And he goes, yeah, and then what?
Wheel, yeah.
He goes, well, and then you could retire. He goes, and what would I do when I retired? And the guy who was saying, and then what, was like, I'd be fishing. So he's like, so I'm doing what I'm already wanting to do now, not this endless chase of money. Because people will just chase money and money and money until they die. And then they're like, at the deathbed, you know, I've talked about this, I think on Hey Babe or Chrissy Chaos, the book I read, the 5 things you must know before you die, about this author, John Izzo, just interviewed 20 or 30 people on their deathbeds. They all said the same thing. None of them valued their possessions. They only missed the time that they missed out with their family. So it's like, at what point you have to like have a number, whatever that number is like, this is enough money I need to live, and that's what I'll deal with. Because it's like, that's why I don't do 2 shows in a night anymore. Very rarely do I do 2 shows in a night, because I'm like, I don't want the pressure or stress. I know it's more money, but I'm losing time. So that's why that I think that Daily Stoic thing would be good for you, because you listen to it every day. It's like a meditation. And I personally, even though there's very, very smart motivational speakers and all that are living today, that's fine. But I just trust advice that's 2,000 years old. That has a bigger impact on me.
Sure.
Because I'm like, if we're saying that 2,000 years ago, like, look at this one.
So you're saying I should just start fishing?
Start fishing.
Honestly, I blame rappers. I do.
Yeah.
For putting so much value on material possessions.
Here's the thing, too.
I mean, I was coming up, and all I thought I need to get, like, you know, I need to be rolling on dubs.
Dude, even podcasting, I read these 2 the other day, and I was like, oh, great. There's 3 of them. I read these things. These are from Marcus Aurelius and Zeno. Zeno was like the Dave Attell.
Princess Warrior.
Zeno was the Princess Warrior, but Zeno was like the stoic. Like, it's the ones the Stoics looked up to. Like how Dave Attell's like the comic.
Yeah.
So, and I feel like literally this is what we do. This is our career now, is what we do each week is on podcasting is exactly these things he said, do not fucking do.
And who's the guy that's the Stoic?
Marcus Aurelius and Zeno.
Aurelius?
Zeno is the David Television.
Does Zeno walk around in a black Carhartt hoodie with a iced coffee?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, he does.
Okay.
So he says, don't be overheard complaining, even to yourself, which is what we do every week, is just sit on here and complain.
Yep.
Don't put on airs about your self-improvement. What airs means is to act in a way that shows one thinks is better than people. So don't put on airs about your self-improvement. All I do is here, come on, talk about my fucking fasting. Don't speak more than you listen. One mouth, 2 ears. All we do on here is speak, and don't listen. And then the last one is don't overindulge in eating or drinking. That's from Masonius. So I was like, it was just a very revealing thing to me where I was like...
The last guy was like, hey, don't
be a fat fuck. Yeah, the last guy...
He's like, let me tell you something that'll change your life.
Yeah, the last guy was like, I agree with Chrissy. You should intermittent fast. But I was like, it was just this ancient wisdom where I was like, I'm in a career now where I'm doing 3 of the things they said don't to do. So obviously keep the career, but how can I just be better at it and be more mindful of it? I don't know the answer at all. I have zero fucking clue.
Yeah.
That's the thing with me. Is like I can read all these things and ingest them and write them down, but then I do not know how to put it in practice, and that is what life is about, is the execution, and I don't know how to do it.
Yeah, but it's on the brain. It's on your mind.
It's insane in the membrane.
And you consume so much and retain so much that I think it will process, and it's starting to build a fabric of in your subconscious. I do think that the more that you read this stuff and consume it, understand it, that it's going to shape your decisions without you even knowing.
Well,
I think you're going to pick up on better habits.
I stopped the negative self-talk. I used to, even as a joke, like in the morning, I would be like, "You suck, Chris." I stopped all that.
Because also in comedy, you want to be self-deprecating and
like the habits make the man, as Epictetus said. All right.
So let's say money goes out of existence. Like it's totally out the window.
Yeah.
Out the window.
What do people do? What do people even
with no
do?
money? I think that with no money, then you probably society would. I think like there would probably inevitably be war and violence and all that because people would get that out. But then I think you'd get to a time where you'd probably be a more peaceful place.
Well,
'Cause
money
we'd
is
spend more-
power, and power is the root of all evil, right? So if you don't have money, you don't have power. How do you get power without money?
And then how would you sell people their own addictions?
Right.
Yeah, because there's no currency. Would you be able to go back to a bartering system like when Jesus flipped the tables?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What would you barter? What would be the first thing you bartered?
Yeah, I mean,
what's your most prized possession? Like
material possession?
Material possession.
Prized?
Like what would be the highest value? Like I ain't giving this up.
It's probably stuff that's invaluable. You know, like not something that's like you know. Oh my! Something that's
Like what's something you would barter to get so that somebody wouldn't kill your family? Like we're out there, you have this thing.
Are you asking me?
I'm saying we're in an apocalyptic world.
Yeah.
We're back to the bartering system.
Okay.
Money's lost its
But
value.
then
They're going to kill your family unless you give me what?
Okay, but let me ask you a question. Do you mean that what do I have that I think will be most valuable in someone else's eyes for the barter? Or you just this way of you asking me what are some things that I have that are invaluable to me? Or like is this is strategic? Like what do you mean?
I'm saying
like,
you don't.
Are you asking me what my most expensive thing is? Are you asking me what I think has the most value to somebody else? Or are you asking me what to me is so invaluable that I like
I'm saying you actually don't even know what the person who has a gun to your family's head is even thinking. He's just saying, "Give me your most prized possession, and I'll give you, and I'll take the gun."
so you're just asking me what some of my most prized
Yeah,
possessions
what do you
are.
think it would be? Doesn't have to necessarily be money.
Yeah, well, the things that my prized possessions have no value to anyone else. You know, it's like, I mean, it's pictures of my family.
That'd be funny.
Memories.
You give pictures of your family, it just blows everybody's heads off. He's like, "What the fuck is this? Trips to Disney World?"
You're like, I'm like a flock of sheep. How about this pic of me in kindergarten?
Yeah, bang.
No, I don't know, like silly stuff, like things that I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe. Like I have a Don Rickles autograph,
I love
personalized autograph to me framed
That's
in the
big,
living room.
yeah.
Like that represents a moment that I met him, and I really looked up to him. He reminds me of my grandfather. I don't know, I just like he's a legend. He's an icon,
Right.
And I got to talk to him. He gave me advice. He was very humble and sweet. He gave me his time with me and my dad and my lady, and it was just one of the most special moments, and he signed it, and what he wrote was so cool. I mean, he didn't know that I was already like having some good fortune in this business,
Right.
But he just like we talked about it because he just told him I was a comedian, and gave me, and he just wrote, "Sal, I know that you'll make it.
Right.
Love you." And I was just like, and I don't know, that's something I like. If there's a fire, I was like, I gotta run and get that
That's what you would get.
in a fire. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's not my most. I'm just what comes to mind. Like
You would buy
a physical possession that means a lot to me. That doesn't mean something to anyone else. You know.
Right. It would work out if the guy who's had the gun to your family's head was a Rickles fan.
It would.
If he
work
wasn't
out.
a Rickles fan,
well, then I could just give him a pair of like Jordan Chicago's from like 1995 or something. I don't know.
Do you think, by the way, I know this is ADHD a little bit, do you think that LeBron James is a better basketball player than Michael Jordan? Do you think that, because it's come to that debate now, do you think he's number one?
What do the stat lines say?
LeBron is way better stats.
Way better.
He's the all-time leading scorer.
But way better.
Yeah. He's
and rings?
Jordan has 6. I think does LeBron have 4? How many did he win? He won 1 with the Lakers. How many championships does LeBron James have?
Let's look at this right here, Ben. Okay. When Jordan retired at what age? The gap in total numbers were 1 and doesn't appear to be slowing down at 38. Well, how many years have they been? Is it years to years? Years? I want to put apples to apples here.
I love when you say apples to apples.
It's a cool, fun thing. So
Jordan, while LeBron's played in 400 more games, so he has 6,000 more points, but he has 4,000 more rebounds. He has twice as many assists. He has a lot. He has more blocks.
He has more points,
more turnovers,
400 more games. Wow, a lot more rebounds, a lot more assists. And I don't think the ratio is such that those 400 games isn't necessarily what's doing it, because like with assists, he has double.
Right.
So that means
I think though there's something magical about Michael Jordan. Maybe it was because of his branding that it's like LeBron is arguably the greatest player of all time, but it just doesn't feel like.
Is that turnovers like he gave up?
He turned the ball over twice as much as LeBron.
Wow. No, LeBron did.
I'm sorry, yes.
Yeah.
LeBron is.
Also, Michael Jordan's Space Jam was better than LeBron's Space
It was. And Gatorade is just like Michael Jordan made Gatorade. He made Nike. Like what
Mike,
did
did you see
LeBron?
Air yet? It's pretty good.
I didn't see Air yet.
It's pretty good.
Remember Gatorade in glass bottles? I wish they would bring back glass Gatorade bottles.
Yes.
Why did they get rid of glass bottles?
I say this every time we record, and every time I promise you it's true. I used DoorDash last night.
You did
I
again?
swear to God, yeah.
Dude.
Oh, 2 nights ago.
DoorDash, it's amazing.
We were watching the I Think You Should Leave season.
I love it, right?
It runs 90 minutes right through.
Yeah.
So I had a whole bunch of people over, use DoorDash to order a white pie, a grandpa pie, and 12 wings.
Yummy, yummy in my tummy.
Yes.
And DoorDash, now they have a Dash Pass membership, which you can save on all your grocery and restaurant favorites with a $0 delivery fee on all eligible orders. You just sign up for that Dash Pass membership. And it's just DoorDash. It's, they got thousands of grocery stores to choose from. They work with all the major chains. I love it. You can get 50% off your DoorDash order up to a $10 value when you use the code BABE2023 at checkout. Limited time offer, terms apply, but that's 50% off up to a $10 and a $15 minimum subtotal and 0 delivery fees on your first order when you download the DoorDash app in the App Store and enter code BABE2023. Don't forget that's code BABE2023 for 50% off your first order with DoorDash.
That's right.
Them double Ds. Oh, I love this. Viator. Viator is the.
Oh, I know.
What I've been telling you about. Viator. Every time I travel, the first thing I do after I book my flight and hotel is I go to Viator and I see what tours they have available. Viator is one of my favorite apps that I have on my phone because I have been using Viator for at least 10 years. I only get tours through Viator I go on the best tours.
I've only just heard about it when they signed on with us and I looked it up and I'm like, how is everyone not using this?
It's the best.
And I began to use it because they gave us a little promo code.
Yeah.
And I'm already your boy's going to be taking a helicopter pretty soon.
Really?
Yeah.
On Viator?
Yes, absolutely.
There you go. So, right. They have over 300,000 bookable travel experiences in over 190 countries. They offer everything from simple tours to extreme adventures, all the niche stuff in between. I'm telling you, I can't recommend this app enough.
Yeah, it's like your own personal travel agent.
It's
you
amazing.
land in a new place and you're visiting, you're traveling, you're like, what can we do here? What's interesting here? You go on this app and it should be your first stop.
They call you to confirm the night before. They tell you exactly where to be. Viator, again, I can't recommend it enough. Download the Viator app right now and use code Viator10 for 10% off your first booking. One app, over 300,000 experiences. You'll remember, do more with Viator. That's Viator. The code is Viator10 for 10% off your first booking. Babe, guess what? Tomorrow, my fall tour goes on sale. We've added so many cities. Just go to chrisdcomedy.com for Tiki Wikis. A lot of them are almost sold out, so go find your city. And if your city's not on there, Instagram me, Twitter me, yell at me. Tell me I need to go to your city. But tell all your friends to come to the shows with you in the city that you live in. Okay? chrisdcomedy.com for Tiki Wikis.
What's up, guys? First things first, the Impractical Jokers Cruise is happening January 22nd to the 26th, 2024. We are hosting it with Eric Andre. There's going to be a ton of comics and bands and DJs. It's our 5th one. You can get tickets right now. It's 65% sold out at pre-sale. So get tickets right now at getshipfacedcruise.com. You could also enter to win a free trip. Impractical Jokers are finishing out the first leg of our tour now through July. All dates and tickets are available at impracticaljokerslive.com. In the coming weeks, we have Minneapolis, Des Moines, Kansas City, Nashville, St. Louis, and am I forgetting anything? That's it.
Do you think Gatorade will bring back the glass bottles?
Maybe if they're watching and we know that they are.
Is it too much costly? Do you think it's cost too much?
You know what I think you do?
What?
I think you leave here today, you get in your car. I think you navigate, you put in GPS to get to Staten Island. When you go back to Staten Island, I think you make a right off the first exit. I think you go about half a mile, you park, and you take it up with Bloom Cafe.
That's it.
That's what I think you do.
Take it up with Bloom Cafe. By the way, they have some new menu items there that are delish.
Really?
They got their vegan, gluten-free cupcakes, or devil dogs, I should say, are amazing.
Yeah.
I eat them all day. Well, only on Saturdays.
Between 1 and 2.
Yeah, my kids eat them. Yeah, look at that. Wow, 1960. That's funny. The 1960.
Wait, where's the glass bottle? Are you taking a Snapple, bro? Yeah, but we didn't drink that in '67.
Wait a second. Am I getting what do they call?
Conflating it with Snapple.
What do they call when you like
Conflating?
Sinbad? What's that called?
Oh,
like the
butterfly effect.
Butterfly effect. When I'm remembering something like a glass Gatorade bottle that never existed.
Yeah, because the '89 one was really what I remember, and that's really the same one.
1996, I kind of remember with the nipple. The 97 one kind of is what it's been, the plastic one.
Yeah, which is almost yeah. They've held. I mean, remember Gatorade gum?
No.
Yeah, they had gum.
I want to get a Gatorade T-shirt with the old symbol. Just says Gatorade.
I bet you could pick that up at Target.
You think so?
They do a lot of branding now with that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I think Jordan.
Gator gum, it was called.
What do you value more in the end when you're looking at a career? Stat lines or rings? I mean, you could have been a guy that's lucky and been on the right teams at the right time and had X amount of rings,
right?
But no stats to say that you're greatness.
I say stats because for me it's like.
But isn't that
like the Nuggets, like the Denver Nuggets right now are in the NBA just finals, and it's like they've been a finals level team for years, but you have the Golden State Warriors, who are arguably one of the best franchises in the last 20 years playing in the NBA. So it's like there's always a franchise to get through. Clyde Drexler and the Portland Trail Blazers could have won the NBA finals, but that was when Jordan was playing.
Yeah, same thing with the friggin' Knicks.
Yeah, so it's tough.
I think that, and I could be a little out of touch because I'm not as into basketball as I was when I was younger, but I think Jordan has a much bigger cultural stamp.
Wow, LeBron's been to the finals 10 times.
Wow.
Yeah.
So he has...
But Jordan never lost in the
finals. He has 4 more final appearances than Jordan. Jordan has won every single final.
Every time he went to the finals, he won.
That's something, though,
yeah,
dude.
something, yeah.
I don't know.
Because, yeah, once you win... If you win 3 of them, it's like could be a fluke. But when you win 6, you went to the NBA Finals 6 different times, and you won 6 different times with different players.
Saying something.
That says like
because he has 4. How many does LeBron have?
LeBron has 4
in 10.
Yeah, and Jordan has 6.
So you're talking about a 40% turnover, a 40% win ratio in the finals versus 100%.
Yeah, that's different.
And he's played 400 more games and almost had the same amount of playoff appearances.
Who is the greatest white man of all time? Not athlete. Just, who do you think is the number 1 white man? Let's do the number 1 white man, the number 1 black man, the number 1 Asian man, and the number 1 woman.
Okay. So
the woman is overall encompasses all races.
I have the parameters for greatness?
For me, I think greatness would be changed culture in a positive way. Did positive things for themselves. I think that also greatness, like a
culture. Are you talking about a cultural icon, or like what are you talking about?
You know what? I don't know if there will
it's
be.
Hard to narrow
I can't
down
give
to
you
one because
parameters. I
there's
just
been
want to
100
say
billion.
You have to make your own parameters. Who is the greatest? Let's start with the white. Who is the greatest white man of all time? You go, then I'll go, and we'll go race by race.
Oh Jesus! Is it a president?
It could be. It's up to you to decide the parameters. Because as I tried to sound it out, I was like, "That's already taking. I'm already now shrinking it."
But you got people in your head already.
No,
like, that's a massive question. I'm
I
going
have
through
the
my
Asian. I have
Rolodex
the
of
Asian
wonderful
in my
whites,
head.
and I don't even know.
I have the Asian in my head.
You have the Asian?
I have the Asian.
Is it? It's not like, is Tiger Woods, what's he considered? Not that he is, but I'm just saying, like, he's successful, sure, but like,
I would say Tiger.
Can he? What
it's
like
want,
the Chappelle sketch. Who's he drafted to?
I'm gonna say if they're mixed race, it's who they look more like from the back. So I'm gonna say Tiger Woods facing the wall looks more black than Asian.
Okay. Are you gonna hit me with like a Confucius?
No.
Okay. You're gonna hit me with a philosopher for sure.
You never know.
You're gonna hit me with who's the biggest Asian contributor to?
Do you have the white man? Yeah, or you want to start with the Asian?
I don't know. I'm trying to think of anybody, to tell you the truth. It's a very lofty question.
Okay.
Are you gonna go like? I'm very interested where you're going to go because you're the guy that loves a good 2,000-year-old.
Right. But they don't have to be.
You love a Socrates, but you also love a Musk.
Right.
You know.
Right.
I feel that you do. Do you?
Yeah. I love Musk. Yeah. 100%. There's a mosque
You either-
on Myrtle Avenue where I used to grow up. Big mosque.
Yeah.
Right. Used to be next to the Dolphin Fitness Club where I used to work out.
Oh, I love a good mosque.
Yeah.
Yeah. But which side are you on with Musk?
With Elon Musk?
Yeah.
I think Musk, he's not
Is
the
he
great.
contributing more good than bad or more bad than
Oh, I
good?
thought you meant, are you counting him as white or African?
Oh no, because he's South African.
He's South
right?
African.
Yeah.
I would say Musk. I don't have a problem with Elon Musk, but he's not the greatest white man
Okay.
to me.
It's a tough one. If you have someone, I'd love it to inform my thought process.
Okay, so for me, the first one out of the gate, I think the greatest white man to me is George Washington.
Okay.
I think I put him at number one, founding father, did great.
Yeah, but he also, if you look at his old Twitter,
Not good.
yeah,
Oh, no, well, there's debate. The thing is, there's debate. There's debate on all of them.
yeah.
Because
That's why it's up. I immediately went back to older presidents, but I'm like, it's dicey. As who says that? Theo?
Brendan Schaub.
Okay, maybe that's what I heard. King and dicey. Someone says that.
Dicey.
Oh no, gang.
Gang is
I don't know.
Theo.
People have tag phrases.
The greatest Asian man to me is Bruce Lee. I'll put him as top Asian.
Okay, so I thought of Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
But then I was like, what about all the unbelievable Asian philosophers?
It's up for debate. But I'm saying how do you feel?
Do you think Bruce Lee is genuinely, because not only was he the ultimate at his craft and a cultural, he was has cultural significance, but do you think that his representation of Asian culture was something that affected like the world, like you know what I mean, like when you get, you know, when you cross over or when something is made accessible to you and you learn something instead of being ignorant about it, because a lot of times when people are ignorant about something,
right,
they fear it because they don't know it.
Well, yeah, I think because Bruce Lee is somebody he transcended culture. I mean, there's no Wu-Tang without Bruce Lee. Right? There's none. I mean, Bruce Lee was the one who brought all, I think.
Well, I guess if you're saying if he was the biggest name in all of those Asian, you know, films and everything.
Bruce Lee claimed he could kill you with a punch an inch away from your chest.
Yeah.
I don't believe it.
So but he's your greatest Asian.
He's my greatest Asian. But listen, many men and women, you know, we all have flaws.
Wait, what is this, Pimpy?
The most searched people on Wikipedia.
Carl Linnaeus? Who the hell is that?
There's all white males, apparently.
Wait, I know everyone on this except for Carl Linnaeus, the number one guy. Who is that?
Why
Swedish
is he
botanist is the number one searched person?
How is that even
Look
possible?
at the rest of that list.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
A Swedish botanist, zoologist, taxonomist, and physician. I mean, pick a career and go with it. I mean, come on.
The father of modern taxonomy.
What is taxonomy?
Taxonomy is taxidermy.
Is it?
Yeah, stuffing dead animals, which is weird. Would you ever consider when you die, instead of getting buried or cremated, would you be taxidermied?
It's not, right? It's not taxidermy.
Would you be taxidermied?
I don't know, because if you can't capture the soul behind the eyes, I think it would be unsettling.
Do you think have there been humans who have opted to be taxidermied?
What?
You want the soul captured?
Yeah, well, like, you know, I don't want to look into dead open eyes. You know what I mean? Like, I want to see the life behind it.
So
I
you
want to
want-
see the essence of life in there.
Like a painting, then.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, so I don't know, unless the taxidermists figure out how to, like, make the eyes look like I'm still sitting here.
Right.
People you ever see, there was a show, there was a show, and I'm pretty sure it existed. It was called, like, the world's craziest or best funerals.
Oh, really?
Or wakes. Did you ever see this?
Like my Super Sweet 16, but for funerals?
They taxidermied people.
Oh, they did. Yeah, let's pull that
they
up.
Got
I
a
want
guy,
to see.
They got a guy. I'm not even kidding. They got a guy at his funeral in full streetwear, holding like a 40, wearing like a crown.
That guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
That one I've seen. Look at this guy. They're all dressed up as milk and eggs.
Lord, we want to thank you for the food we're about
Breakfast
to
of Quentin.
receive. And then thank the Lord.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Why were there two bacon strips behind him? He has to come on the pod. Why are the guys behind him so they look like Secret Service bacons? This can't be real.
Is this a bit or this is real?
Oh, it's fake. Oh no, but it's real.
But he really died, this kid, and they decided to do this.
His grandmother's dressed as an omelet. This is crazy. This guy was
They're
like,
breaking eggs over his casket.
this is insane. Oh my God, you're kidding me. You know what I would
Do
like?
you want me to get these people for your funeral? If you died before me, do you want me to? Would you prefer if I did this for you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Is that? Are you being dead? Because I'll remember this. If
No,
God
yes.
willing, we live another 40, 50 years, I'll do this for you.
No, I want this.
All right. So we heard it. We have. This is what you want. Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
I mean, yeah. I mean, this is crazy. I mean, he's like, he told us we don't have to have breakfast in the morning. He's like, that wasn't him.
Yeah.
That was so far before
And
him.
why is he wearing a shower cap?
I don't know.
This podcast, as always, sponsored by BetterHelp.
Better help, babe.
BetterHelp, babe. I mean, you know, if you've benefited from therapy before, which
yeah.
we have,
Yeah.
and we suggest BetterHelp, we both use it,
Yeah.
right? It helps us.
We were just talking about therapy before the cameras even came on.
You find more balance with BetterHelp. It's done entirely online from the comfort of your own home. You don't have to go anywhere to a brick and mortar. You don't do any of that. It's private. You take a little survey. They match you up with the therapist that fits best for you. If you don't like that therapist, then you can change it at any time, and we'll give you a great discount. All you got to do is go to BetterHelp. That's HELP. BetterHelp.com/HeyBabe. Get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp.com/HeyBabe. 10% off your first month.
Excellent.
Listen, let me tell you about the Game Time app, okay? Like today, I'm going to the Yankees-Mets game. I use Game Time to get the best seats for the best price. If you want to, and that's not only sporting events, whatever event you want to go to, buying tickets to your favorite events should not be stressful, and Game Time takes away all the stress. They get flash deals, last-minute tickets, easy to find and buy tickets for every kind of event in your area. You don't have to plan months in advance. You know why? Because Game Time has deals on tickets right up to the day of the event. The Game Time guarantee, listen to this, it means you're always going to get the best price. And if you find tickets in the same section or row for less, Game Time's going to credit you 110% of the difference. Listen to that. Tickets in the same section and row for less, Game Time gives you 110% of the difference. The only choice is Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code HeyBabe for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code HeyBabe for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last-minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed.
I've never put a shower cap on in my life. I don't think I ever have.
You mean for function, for real, or just trying it on?
I don't think
You've
that
never been in a hotel, busted one out, and just walked around the room in a shower cap?
No. And you know what I'm prepared to tell you, and I can't prove it, but I do think it's a fact. I think in my life, in the course of my 38 years of life, I've worn a hat on my head less than 20 times. I think I'm 20 times or less with a hat on.
Wow, let me think about this. You don't wear baseball caps.
Nope.
You really don't. Not
Nope.
even backwards,
I don't wear
really.
yarmulkes.
You don't do fedoras.
Nope.
You don't do sun visors.
I don't wear cowboy hats.
You don't wear shower caps.
Nope.
You don't wear beanies.
I don't wear sombreros.
Every time I wear a beanie, you make a comment like, "You can pull that off."
Yeah.
But I really feel like you're saying like, "I don't like you in the beanie, but I have to comment on it."
Right.
Yeah. You don't wear silly.
No,
dumb,
I love you in the beanie.
You don't wear silly hats like dumb
No,
hats, like
no.
those big hats that the women wear.
No, very.
You don't wear bonnets.
I think it's less than 20 times in my life. Maybe I'll call it 30 times.
Why do you think that is? Do you think that you don't have a face for hats?
I don't. I think I don't have a good hat head. I think my head's too big, and I think I have a big forehead. All right.
Well, you literally look like a little leaguer right now. The way you put that on, but put it on like the way you would wear it.
Okay.
Like put it on as if you were gonna walk in here and I think twice. No way, no way, no way. It looks insane on you.
Yeah.
Because we're not used to it.
Right.
If you wore it all the time, but it looks so jarring.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't like it. Let's see how it looks on Yolanda.
I mean, she pulls anything off. We know that.
She pulls it off. I don't know. I'm not a hat guy.
You ever call 911?
No, I've never.
In your life, you've never called 911?
I've never dialed 911 in my life.
I've
dialed
multiple.
311. Why did you call 911?
I have in my life. I'd say in my life, I probably called 911 at least 5 times.
Because you were having an emergency, or you were witnessing an emergency?
Did I ever call for my own emergency? Like I was with a friend one time that needed it, and then I called. But most of the time, I'm calling because I witnessed something. I believe,
What's the last time you called 911?
I know. We called. Well, I didn't call, but the guy in the car we called 2 weeks ago when a guy shot a gun at us.
Oh, that's right.
In Denver. Shout out Denver. Shout out.
You called 911, and what did they say? Like, there's nothing we can really do.
No, they just were like, well, for them, they asked like where we could find they asked specifics, but 911.
They're like, well, the Nuggets just got to the final, so.
Yeah,
people are shooting guns.
It's gonna be
It's the first time they ever made an NBA history.
Hello. Yeah. They're like, call 311. We don't want to. Did you ever call 311?
Yes, 311 I've called.
For what?
What about when we used to have to call 411 to get information about anything?
Does 411 not exist?
Remember 411?
Holy shit! I haven't thought of 411.
Yeah.
Since the last time I dialed 411
right now. I don't know what even happens when
doesn't
you dial
someone come on and ask you what you want to know? Dude, that was the first that was Google.
411 search. This call may be monitored or recorded.
Tell me right now. I there's a person walking around right now that's like, I support my family. I'm a 411 operator.
Yeah. Hold on.
City and state, please.
Yes. Brooklyn, New York. That's right.
And then they connect you with a local 411 person.
Say the name of the business you want, or say residence.
Residence. Say residence.
Residence.
Ask for a well-known celebrity that lives in Brooklyn.
I'm sorry, I didn't get that. For a residential listing, you can say residence.
Is it all automated?
Otherwise, just tell me the name of the business you want.
Residence.
Anne Hathaway.
Okay, residence. Say just the person's last name.
Hathaway.
Okay, Hathaway, right?
Yes.
For Hathaway, top 2 results. To select a listing, say its number 1, A Hathaway, on 355 Pacific Street. Number 2, J Hathaway.
Number 1? Did you say A Hathaway?
Dude, are we maybe gonna have Anne Hathaway? Like if everything goes right?
Does she live at?
For an operator.
Because I feel like we'll fall in love and everything.
Yeah, and the first name?
Hi, Anne Hathaway.
Press 1 to have a text message of this listing sent to your phone. Thank you. A text message has been sent, and your call is now being connected.
Yeah, I'm.
Press 1 to receive a text message on all future 411 calls.
I'm being connected to Anne Hathaway.
Thank you. A text message has been sent, and your call is now being connected.
Yes, it is.
This will say the listing. See what it says. What's the?
I'm being connected to Anne Hathaway. She is beautiful. Jesus Christ.
This is 10 years ago.
Yeah, but hello?
Anne?
I'm not Anne? They hung up on me.
Wait. So there's no.
Wait, I have
Did you
Anne.
speak to a live person just now?
Hold on.
Or is it all AI now?
I just got. They just sent me Hathaway the number, and the address. I'm calling this number. I'm calling this number and see if it's Anne Hathaway.
What's the address? Bleep, you should probably beep that out. Okay. When we put it on.
Welcome to Verizon Wireless. Your call cannot be completed as the call party.
Dude, that is a good. That's a nice block.
That's a
It's
nice
block
block
full of brownstones,
She
my
could
man.
have. I have to piss like you can't imagine.
I also have to piss.
Like it. Wow. Holy shit. You never have to piss.
I drank coffee. Maybe I don't know what it was.
I've been drinking a lot of iced coffee.
You know, I don't have to piss.
Okay.
I have a light sensation.
Right.
I don't normally piss until I have a medium to heavy sensation.
By the way, I forgot to tell you today. This morning, I was in the city pretty early, and I was walking to the boxing place, and a car was turning off Bowery Street. A car was turning, and a guy on a city bike wearing a full suit and a helmet on a city bike like, kind of like had to weave in it, like out of the turn. Like it was almost like going to be like a bad accident. And then he flipped. I saw all this happen. He flipped off his city bike, rolled into a puddle, and then got up. He was like, "What a way to start the day!" And then got on his bike. I swear to God. And then he got onto his bike, and he just wiped himself off, and he just got on his bike and like just kept going. And I was like, what a hilarious
That's so
thing
funny
to say. I mean, kind of just calling up. What a way to start the day. And I was like, genuinely, I kind of felt bad for him, but I was happy that he reacted that way. I was laughing out loud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he look embarrassed?
No, he kind of
He
looked
just
like
was like,
he just goes, what a way to start the day.
that's awesome.
And then got on a thing. By the way, summer solstice is coming up Wednesday, June 21st. Did you know that the summer solstice is the longest day, and then it starts to get shorter from there? Because I always thought I always thought the longest day, or like it was light out in New York till like 9:30 in August. But in August, it's already starting to get dark.
Yeah, I remember when I used to think that, but a while back I realized, oh shit, the longest day of the year is in
So the
June.
longest day of the year will be Wednesday, June 21st. It will be light out till 9 o'clock at night.
Probably past it, probably. Dude, you know what time it gets light out now? Because I've been like sometimes like waking up at like 5 in the morning, full sun.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
At like 5:20.
Yeah, I'm up.
That's
then.
too much.
The
You're
babe, well, the baby Violet gets up about 5:05 every morning, so the baby's up.
You can't slide that.
She's up. And at this age, when she's reaching she's almost 2. They're up. They're not. And even if you put the TV on, they're up. You have to just get up with them. So she goes to bed at like 7:30. Huh?
Can't make that like 7.
We try,
more manageable.
But baby girl, wake up, and she'll wake up. She goes diaper, and then she says that her diaper's dirty. But now she knows a trick. Well, if she just says diaper,
It's just to
we
get
rush
out.
in. But it's pretty much usually
Have
dry.
you seen this thing now where parents will put like I forget what it's called, but it's like a light in the kid's room, and then like it has color coding. So like if it's red, which it does, you can time it. So you could say to Delilah, like, all right, if this is red, you don't get out of bed until it turns green.
Okay.
Did you ever hear that? So they had this thing on their bed, and you could time it and color code it. So like if you don't want to get out of bed until 7, you could say, all right, so we're going to do this thing. If you wake up and this is red, try to stay in bed or go back to sleep. When it turns green, you can get up. And I know so many people who are using that.
Right.
And I guess it's like something that's like, a technique that works. So,
Well, I mean, I guess what's going to start to happen is this is what happened with my other girl, is they start to then wake up at 5:05 in the morning, but then they just sit and like hang out by themselves for a little while.
Yeah.
And then they start to get, right now, as soon as she wakes up, she's scared because we have like scarecrows hanging from her ceiling with a noose around the neck. So she gets scared as soon as she wakes up.
I bet she thought she wanted that at first, and then she got second thoughts.
Yeah. So we have skinned rabbits upside over her crib. So she gets, as soon as she wakes up, she gets scared. 2023 is the year of the water rabbit.
What's a water rabbit?
Ew, there's rabbits in the water?
Disgusting.
Ugh, I don't need that. I'm done with rabbits. I've never eaten a rabbit.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a rabbit? Hassenpfeffer is what it's called in Germany.
Is that what the rabbit is? I've never had a rabbit.
That's what they said in Mighty Ducks.
They just they shit so much.
I know a rabbit. My aunt had a rabbit and it died. Her name was Annabelle, and I had to throw her out in a plastic bag. I've told you that.
I don't know if you did.
I never told you that?
No.
They built a little crate for her. My uncle built a little crate, and it would shit these little pellets, and it was like vicious, this thing. But it was a fully grown
bite you, yeah.
Annabelle, and then it died one day. And then my aunt put it in like 5 plastic bags from Stop and Shop, and I had to throw it out in the trash against the tree.
I guess what are you going to do?
It was dead. What are we going to do?
Let me tell you something. I crashed at someone's house for a week that had a rabbit. They shit 24/7, 365.
Yep.
Okay.
Constantly
I mean,
shitting.
if they walk from here to here, there's 8 shits.
Nonstop shitting.
I'm not even joking. It's kind of crazy, actually. But I don't know about rabbits.
Yeah, I don't need it. I'm not, again, I like animals. I'm just not a pet in the house guy. Not at least this point in my life. I guess because my kids are too small. I don't want another responsibility.
What's the difference in a rabbit and a bunny? Is a bunny a baby rabbit?
I think a bunny is a baby rabbit.
Is it?
I think so.
So the Easter bunny is a baby? The Easter bunny is
weird.
clearly the Peter. What is his name? Peter Cottontail?
No, it's just bunny. It's referred to rabbits affectionately.
Okay.
Oh, bunnies are young and rabbits are adults.
Well, then the Easter bunny, I don't understand. Then
It's too young. Then too young for me. Is the Easter bunny a boy or a girl?
I thought it was. Is Peter Cottontail the Easter bunny, or is that 2 different people? So who's Peter Cottontail?
Female. Wow.
Whoa.
The Easter Bunny is female. Look at that.
Then who the hell's Peter Cottontail?
I think that's from a children's book.
Oh, he's just like just made up dude.
Yeah.
Like he's not real like the Easter Bunny.
No. I don't. I don't know. For me, and by the way, for me, Easter is one of those holidays that I can. It doesn't. I don't need it.
Yeah. Nothing against religion.
Yeah.
But I used to. My family goes hard in the paint with Easter. Everyone's getting in their dresses, and we used to go to church, and then we used to go out to eat. And by the way, you go out to eat on Easter, and it's really just it's terrible. It's a prefix menu everywhere. They rush you in, they rush you out.
I don't need it.
It's amateur hour.
Right.
Going out for dinner on Valentine's Day, on Easter, on Mother's Day.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah. No point. We did a Mother's Day picnic for this Mother's Day 2 weeks ago, and we had a great time. Delilah had strep throat, but we had a good time.
I'm going to tell you about the time I murdered the fish by accident. Is it a murder if it's by accident? It's a manslaughter, right? I manslaughtered my fish.
You got charged?
You were talking about the rabbit. I bought a new fish. It was a Japanese fighting fish. You know those fuckers?
Yeah.
You got to leave them in a bowl by themselves. If you put two in there, they duke it out.
No.
You ever see these guys?
No.
They have like these weird like Japanese fighting fish. Throw that in there. Yeah, you've seen it. You've seen it. If you can't put two in the same one, they'll fight to the death.
Really?
Yes, or immediately. Yeah.
And one will get killed.
One will die. They will fight to the death, and then one will die. So you can't put them in. They have to be alone. They could go with other fish. They can't go with one of their own. They will fight to the death. So I get this Japanese fighting fish, and I get a fish. I had my fish tank, and I bought like the rocks and like the little guy in there, like the scuba diver with the bubbles coming out of him, the treasure and everything.
Yeah.
And I bought like this like coral thing that has like a cave. And I went to change. I got the fish, and I went to put together the fish tank. I did the rocks. I put in the right pH and all that stuff. And I put everything together, and I got the actual filter going, and then I finished, and I was like so proud of myself, and I'm like, where the fuck is the fish?
Right.
The fish was not in there.
What happened?
Well, I lifted up that cave that I bought, and I had crushed him under the cave in the rocks as I set up the tank.
Yeah.
So I got the fish and literally stomped him out.
Killed it immediately.
Immediately.
Here's my question with the Japanese fighting fish. How do they mate and have sex if they always want to kill each other?
Maybe it's different. Maybe you can't put
Male
same
on
sex.
male, female on
yeah,
female.
maybe. I'm not that educated, but I killed a lot of fish in my day because when we were little, they would give you fish like it was no big deal. Like if there was a pet store around the corner from my aunt's house, and you'd go and they called them the feeder fish.
Yeah.
You know, they're these goldfish, and back then they charged you, I think 5 or 10 cents for a fish. Could you imagine buying a life?
Yeah.
For 5 to 10 cents.
Yeah.
And by the way, they call them feeder fish because they would feed them the bigger fish. But if you kept that fish,
it grows
that
into a beautiful
was literal
fish.
a regular fish.
Remember
I kept one for 6 years.
Remember 5 cents we could buy individual bazooka gums that had the comics on them? I miss bazooka gum.
Yeah, loose gum
You
and
could
candies.
buy loose bazooka gum. You can't buy it anymore.
I love loose candies.
I love loose candies.
I used to I used to have a candy shop in my neighborhood. They used to sell them loose.
I'll take you to the candy shop.
I'll take you to the lollipop. I got the magic stick.
Life to go back to that, right? We weren't saying that. I wonder were people in the 90s, were our parents in the 90s saying, I want life to go back to the way it was in the 70s?
Gotta be.
You think it's just always...
Yeah, we left our front doors open. Everybody in the neighborhood knew each other.
Yeah.
You know?
Speaking of that, I wanted to
We smoked cigarettes that weren't bad for you back then.
I wanted to wait. I wanted to wait a little bit and tell you guys because I you know how I'm open about things, but not like all the time. You know, I'm open about things.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's been things that have been going on with me that I wasn't even as comfortable and open of a book as I am. I was like, I don't want to share this because it's struggling with it and it's been hard for me, and I wanted to just wait, because I went to the doctor a couple of weeks ago, and it's been difficult for me to deal with. But I went to the doctor. I went to the doctor, and I was struggling because I was like not feeling like 100%. I just was feeling off, and I went to the doctor 2 weeks ago, and I got like a bunch of tests, and they were like, this could be off, that could be off, and then finally though they came to me, and I had to do, because remember I couldn't make Hey Babe out of nowhere a couple of weeks ago, is because I had to get this test done, and they looked in me, and they came up with a diagnosis for me that I'll be okay. You know, that's why I've been doing even like the Stoics and all that stuff, like kind of just getting in touch with what fate and life could be, because, you know, they said, they like, you know, looking at your results, Chris, and we're just, you know, we don't want you to be scared, but they said you've been diagnosed with, this has been Hey Babe.
Don't be a fake, don't be a flake, don't run away from your feelings, babe. Don't be afraid, don't be ashamed, don't hesitate to say, hey